guys, I'm Vlogs. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be doing part 3 of the boss fight tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be scripting or minions to fall out of this part up here and to attack the player. So, what I've already done for the minion is I have added it into my dummy a script, and you can, if you do not have a model in that your actual dummy that has the animations is, you just need the script in the model. And here in the script I have already written the essential code, and you need a variable for what's supposed to be attaching basically, and then you need a variable for the humanoid root part. You need a variable match distance that's just mapped at huge, and then you want if your NPC gets touched, so script.parent in my case. Actually, I think I'm going to use .parent again, so script.parent.parent, and then we want this parameter touch, and then we're just saying if game.players get player from character touch the parent, so what touched it, that parent, and not players, so players hit, which is this. You just need to write out that variable, and then in square brackets dim the players get players from character, and then touch that parent then. So basically, so if it can find in the players a player whose character is that what touched it, and this, then it does this. So PLRs hit game the players that player from character touch that parent equals a true. Touch that parent that humanoid take damage 20. So 20 damage does it if it hits you once. Actually, I'll probably take that rather to something like 40. Then it waits 1 second, and then it again puts this variable to false. And then it will all the time make this variable, which is representing all players, and it just has a variable that's nothing, closest humanoid root part, that's why it's called HRP, and then for all players it loops through every player, and if the character from that player, and if the character exists, and if it in the character finds a humanoid root part, and if the character's health from the humanoid is over 0, then it says local HRP humanoid root part equals a player. So basically the player's character humanoid root part. Then distance between is a new variable that we're creating, and that is in brackets, so it doesn't take position at magnitude. You just mean brackets, so it first calculates what's in the brackets, and then what that equals to, it adds this to. So the HRP of NPC, which is script.parent, actually I should use script.parent now, but it distance between equals to or position, basically the position of the NPC dot position, yeah, and minus the position of one of the player dot magnitude. So that just makes distance between. And if not closest humanoid root part, then closest humanoid root part equals to humanoid root part, so the one of the player. And then if humanoid root part from NPC dot position minus the yeah, we're basically again using the one that we have here. Equal is smaller than distance between, which is math.huge. Then closest HRP equals to the player's humanoid root part. And now for the last thing, if closest humanoid root part and humanoid root part of NPC dot position in, yeah, this is in brackets, minus closest HRP dot position dot magnitude is smaller or equals to max distance math.huge, then npc.humanoid root part move to closest humanoid root part dot position. But this just makes that it all the time follows the closest humanoid root part. And now we only want to put this minion in or this monster or whatever that is into our attacks folder, and now we want a script that sometimes they spawn. Actually, I've already written a code to spawn them, but that's pretty easy. I'll explain that later on. Let's just call our function this, so that we do not mess that up later on. But now we want to make a new function here. So, attacks dot, and now we want this name in my case because I have already used that name, but you probably might use something else. Brackets. This is now the function, and this is, well, no, why is it not making the function? I have to write, but this is now a function, and in this function it's pretty simple. We only have to spawn these minions. So we actually have a variable for the minion, so local, we only have to clone it once. Local new minion equals to, why do I have two spaces here? Equals to minion clone. Now we only want to position and an anchor and put them into the workspace, and then it can already start. So now we just say, what we now say is, or actually I can probably make this way less complicated if I basically steal this function here and somehow use that. But yeah, let's see how that we can do this. It shouldn't be too hard, but yeah, I'll just quickly do this. Okay, so actually, let's just give a num with us. So, and let's just continue with this, and then do that it spawns it multiple times. But actually, I'll just paste it in and just replace the 10 with num. Now let's indent this and write an end here. Okay, but now new minion move to, and I have already created something I called pause part, because I'm going to spawn the minions basically here. So I'm going to move them here. I named it pause part, so I just do workspace dot pause part dot position. Like this, we are moving it there. And now for the final thing, we have to parent him. So new minion dot parent equals workspace. And now let's play here. And let's survive the first round, which is the one from the fireball. Nearly done. Only one more fireball, and then we should see the minions spawning up there. And we've got an error. Oh, yeah, I've forgotten this, but we in our minion spawn just have to say a number for how many minions we want, because we have already stripped it, so we only have to type a number. Actually, I think I'm just going to comment the first attack out in my case so we can very fast come to the minions. But actually, let's, before we made all of the start, just wait 10 seconds so we've got time to actually be in the game. Let's just look up there in case the minions are spawning in a sec. And I'm lagging very badly. And I've been teleported up out of nowhere. The minions come there. You cannot really survive those. I think I should rather put the damage to something like 5. And I do not understand why they didn't spawn where they're supposed to. Those are inescapable. I should probably make them slower. Or something. And why ever they can hit me everywhere. Well, let's fix that. Okay, so this was very laggy for some reason. Let's just quickly turn down the damage to like 5 because they'll anyways hit you, and let's actually make so that you get a sword when this round starts. So let's just put that before the minions spawn so that, and let's just add a wait before the minions at all spawn, like about 3, so people have time to realize they have a sword. And let's just say, if not, actually let's put another variable, plr. If not, plr dot backpack find first child sword, then. And now we only have to get a sword out of the toolbox because I do not want to just make one quickly. I might have a tutorial sometime on that. And let's just take any sword. And now put that into the starter pack and call it sword. That's just easier. And let's put it in replicated start. And say, if it doesn't find it, then game dot replicated storage dot sword clone. Oops, I've done there capital L. Clone dot parent equals to plr dot backpack. And now let's just in the minion spawn write comma plr. And now the player as well gets a sword to fight against the minions. Okay, so now to the last part of making this. Okay, so now let's actually make a way of triggering this boss fight, because currently we are just after 10 seconds triggering this boss fight every time when a player joins, and this is not optimal at all. So to change this, let's just make some sort of wall very quickly. Actually, I think I'm going to make this kind of nice. I'm just gonna first make like a wall out of plastic and make it some sort of gray, and I'm just making some sort of a box for when the boss fight starts, that players are going to be able to be in that box, and that before the boss fight starts they do not really know there's a boss fight. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly make this box, which I'll probably done in a second. I'll first scale those up before I actually use them, kind of. Okay, I'll be done very fast. Okay, so I have completed my box, and I have actually made this kind of cool symbol. And I just noticed I have forgotten to anchor all of this. Okay, but that shouldn't take too long. Okay, so now let's enter it. And now let's actually make so you can trigger the boss fight. And maybe even get some reward for it. But first of all, let's make so you can trigger it. So I am just going to make like some sort of... I'll just add in a cylinder, turn, I'll just make it face this way and make it be smooth plastic and some sort of gray. Scale it down, scale it outwards some, and make it duplicate, make it a little higher, a little thin, and yeah, this is it about. Actually, I think I'm going to make it completely flat at the bottom. And on top of this, I might... Actually, I've got a small idea of what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to steal this thing, which I've made. And I am going to somehow use it. Let's see, what happens if I... okay, now I've got it on the floor. I can probably take use of this if I scale it down or so. That's still too big. 0.25 might work if when making it flat. Okay, I can probably use this 5 of those or something. Yeah, I can probably use 5 of those. Ow! I didn't. Okay, let's position one here, rotate it about like this. Duplicate it. Actually, yeah, let's duplicate it. Position one kind of like here. I'm going to do the rotating in a sec. I am just at the moment doing some quick positioning so I can. Yeah, this is okay. How in my opinion, I think I'm just going to move these down a little and like this. And now I'm going to actually probably take all of those. I'm going to do it this way. And rotate them like this. And replace them a little bit. Okay, I wanted 5 of those. And actually, I think I'm just going to rotate some of those random... And yeah, this looks okay. And let's in the middle just quickly position something like a button, basically. And well, I think I actually done that perfectly there. Okay, but yeah, I'm just going to scale this out a few times. Yeah, about like this should do. And put that there, duplicate it, put it at least at once, and make it smaller, about like that. Make it flat and put it about like, let's put it like this. And now we only want the trigger, and then we are done with this, in my opinion. Let's make this one neon and red. Or actually maybe blue. Nah. Red doesn't. Let's use the red we've always used. And yeah, I forgot to anchor all of this. Is this anchored? Yes. Good. And you're going to press this, and then you're going to get teleported here, I'd say. And basically, it's just all going to start the boss fight. And then we're pretty much done. Let's actually add a click detector in this. Or actually, let's do it with a nice proximity prompt. So, we are just going to quickly put the weight here to 5 and make in and right game the players dot Actually, not. Yeah. Here, instead of the player added event, we're using game.replicated storage dot start boss fight dot on server event. So if this event gets fired, connect function open bracket close bracket, and let's just put in player. And now
if you'd like this video, then please just give it a thumbs up down below, and if you want to see more of my videos, then just click the thumbnail that should be on your screen now. And if you as well want to support my work at no extra cost, then just click on the thumbnail that should be right now in the middle of your screen.